What's going on, everybody? Welcome to What Up Clay, the channel. I'm talking about all kinds of things, fixability, maintain it, as well as product review and a whole lot of motors. I have another review on another motor. This right here is the Reds Racing Gen 4 Pro Stock 17.5T. You've probably seen my video where I did a full review on it, dissected it, tuned it, all other shebang bang. Gotta look at the insides, the outsides, upsides, downsides, whatever. In this video here, we're going to put on the Jerry. So stay tuned. Let's go learn something. Okay, so here we have the Jerry. We have the Red Racing Pro Stock. This right here is the standard one. Just a standard Pro Stock. It is not the factory select. Over here on the load motor, we have the Surpass V6, the big boy. Same motor I use for all the tests on the Jerry. And yeah, so we're gonna go and go through these gears here, and then all the way up until we get to the big boy right here, the 41 tooth. See what the load difference is on him. See how this motor handles the different loads, the heat temperatures. We're going to take the temperature of the motors after each load. We're going to take the speed that the load motor here is being spun at. Did I say we're going to take the heat of the load motor? No, we're going to take the heat of the drive motor. This is going to be the drive motor. We're going to take the temperature of the drive motor, speed of the load motor, and so on and so forth. We're going to run on this right here, the Hobby Wing tunalizer. So first off, we're going to start off with the, what tooth is that? I don't remember. The 27 tooth. We're going to start with the 27 tooth pinion right there. So let's go load this thing up and get it going. Okay, I lied again. I said we're going to start off with a 27 tooth. We're actually going to start off with the free spinning on it. So we know how the motor operates without a load on it. Now, some of you might be asking, what's the purpose of the Jerry? The Jerry allows me to put this motor under different loads. Just because a motor has a high RPM doesn't mean it has a torque to move a load. So if you run this on a stand, sure, it's fast, but once it starts pushing your car around track, how well is it going to do it? You kind of look at it this way. Would you rather have a 350 horsepower 4-cylinder, or would you rather have a 300 horsepower V8? You probably want to go with the 300 horsepower V8 because you can gear higher, because it's going to have a lot more torque than that 4-cylinder. So, without further ado, let's see how this thing works without a load. Okay, right now we're running at 5.34 amps, 3232 kV. You see that there in the video. Let's see what the RPMs are on this thing. $24,234. Notice how the RPMs on this thing doesn't jump around. This motor is very well balanced. The rotor in this thing is very, very well balanced. The north and south side is very, very close. Is that the reason why you don't see the RPMs jumping around? I don't know for sure, but sounds good to me. All right, now let's go ahead and put the 27 tooth on and see what this thing starts doing under load, and we'll go all the way up to the 41 tooth. Okay, we have the 27 tooth on there now. Let's go ahead and do a auto test. There we go, there's numbers right there. Alright, 10.15 amps and 2907, 2901. Inbuilt deviation, all that stuff is still good. Alright, let's go ahead and do a RPM test. But first, I have to get my timer ready. Okay, timer's ready. Gonna run for 20 seconds. Ready, set, go. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the 28 tooth. Right after I take the temperature, I can get the stator through. There's holes on the side right here. I can get to the stator from there. Take a temperature off the stator, and it is, whoops, -90 degrees. All right, time for the 28 tooth. Okay, we now have the 28 tooth on there. Auto run. (10.47 amps). All right, let's go ahead and do the RPMs. Timer's ready, everything's ready. Okay, let's go. 20 seconds. Okay, temperature. There's the temp. Okay, time for the 29. Okay, time for the 29 tooth. Auto run. Here we go. Okay, 10.71 amps. I think it's about the same as it was a little bit ago on the last one. 2878 kV. Let's go ahead and do the RPMs. Get the timer set. Everything's set. Ready, set, go. Okay, time for the 30. After I take the temp. Okay, we have the 30 tooth on here. Auto run first. Okay, 11.202 amps, 2870 kV. Time for the RPM run. And let's go ahead and hit it. Okay, and then we got the temperature. Come on now. There we go. 99 degrees. Time for the 31. 31 tooth is here. And auto run. $11.32 amps, 2858 kV. Do the 20-second run. All right, let's go ahead and kick it. And the temperature. Come on, get that down there. There we go. 101. All right, time for a 32. Okay, the 32 tooth. We have one more after this. That's the 41 tooth. So let's go ahead and do the auto run. There we go. 11.86 amps. 2837 kV. All right, get the RPMs going now. Ready and go. Yeah, that ran for about 15 seconds longer than I wanted to. Could get my RPM, my tachometer to stop jumping around. All right, let's go ahead and take a temperature of that. All right, so I'm getting an end bell reading of 112. See that there? So, all right. Now for the 41 tooth, the big boy. All right, we have here the 41 tooth. This is the final one, and then we'll go after that. We doing all this. We'll go and look at the spreadsheet. So here's the auto run. There we go. 1514. Now, without even looking at the spreadsheet, that's not a very high amp draw right there. Let's go ahead and look at the RPMs on it. See how those fare. All right, everything's ready to go. Okay, that was it. Let's go ahead and put everything on the spreadsheet, go over the numbers, and then I will give you my final thoughts on it. After, of course, I take the temperature. And the in-build reading 112. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the numbers on my spreadsheet now for my disclosure. As always, there are tens of thousands of racers out there, so there's going to be tens of thousands of different opinions on what these numbers mean. The numbers I go over and how I explain them is strictly my personal opinion, how I see it. If your opinion is different, by all means, slap it down there in the comments section. We all like to hear what you have to say. I know some people in there, they put a thumbs down, but hey, let us know. Why are you doing a thumbs down? What's wrong? What's going on here? Anyhow, this is the Res Racing VX4 Pro stock. The free spinning right here is 24,000. Now the temperature readings I took from the stator. I should have taken it from the end bell like I did all the other ones. I stated over here on the side over here that's from the stator, but the last two on the 32 tooth and the 41 tooth I did use from the end bell to get more accurate reading on the temperatures. Now, by looking at these numbers right here, it's a pretty, in the RPM range, it's in the upper RPMs. Definitely in the upper RPM range of the motors that I've tested. You see a consistent RPM increase right here. They're in the 600s consistently. Then you get all the way down here at the bottom. Now, how does this compare to the other motors? What we'll look at is the amp draw and see what the difference in the amp draw is, as well as the RPMs, and put those together to see how they compare, and the temperature as well. So let's go ahead and look at the last motors I tested, which were also Red Racing motors. This right here is a Red Racing factory selected motor. So this right here was a $150 motor. The V Pro Stock Standard Edition is not the factory selected edition. This one here was $130. So what's the difference between the two? You look at the amp draw on the Pro Stock is consistently lower. The RPM is also consistently lower if you look at all the way down. But right here at the 32 tooth, for some reason this motor right here just came alive. Where you look at the RPM ranges over here on the factory select, the standard, the regular VX4, the RPM jump kind of didn't stay consistent because these are 600s and it drops down. So if you look at amp draw when they're the same, the amp draw here is 10.42. It's at 19,773 RPMs. If you look at something comparable, like this one here is the 10,000 or 10.47 amp draw, and it's 20,279. So it's a higher RPM. When you look down here at the 41 tooth, the RPMs on the Pro Stock is at 27,575, which is about 300 RPMs less than the VX4. But you're also looking at a 0.14 difference in amp draw for the Pro Stock. The Pro Stock has a lower amp draw, which means you could go up one more tooth because it only goes up about 30.3 amps when you add a tooth. As you can see over here, I mean, it goes up. It was consistent until you get over here. It goes up 0.54 amps, but it goes up about 0.3. Either way, you put in one more tooth on it, and it'll increase overall about 500 to 600 RPMs. So, putting that factor together, you'll be about 200 RPMs faster than the factory selected. So, we added the standard here. This is the standard non-pro stock. You can kind of see the difference here. 27657. It's pretty close. It has a little bit higher RPM, almost 100, about 80 RPMs higher, but it also has a higher amp draw. And look at the temperature. The temperature is a lot higher. See, 12.26 at 32 tooth is 1186. So, I mean, it seems to me like it's still down there. Really close, but overall, the Pro Stock would probably be a little quicker, especially on tight tracks. On off-road tracks where there's a lot of traction, you have a four-wheel drive or whatever, you need a lot of torque. Now, how does it compare to other ones? This is the double down. We're not going to compare it with that one. The Slot Machine 2. It has almost the same amount of RPMs, but it's substantially less amps. 27,521. Sorry for making you dizzy. And 27,575. So it's a little bit faster, a lot less amp draw. The Surpass, one of the motors that is notorious for being a torquey motor. This one here has about 130 RPMs less, or 110 RPMs less, and it's also burning more amps. The Exalt, the VX4 Pro stock is about just over 300 RPMs faster, and it also burns less amps. The Hobby Wing, the most popular one out there, the G4R. The Hobby Wing is about 100 RPMs faster, 300 RPMs faster. But that's at, this is at 32 tooth. So, let's go look at the 30 tooth on the VX4. The Pro Stock 32 is 23,000 and 1186. So 23,000, 1186. So this is 876 RPMs faster, but this is burning about 1.5 amps more. So, and then the temperature is higher. So that means on the VX4, to get the same amp draw, you can add at least 2 teeth. Well, if you add 2 teeth, then you're going to be jumping up over 24,000 RPMs here on the 30 compared to the Hobby Wing. So that's something to look for. And then you have the Tekin Gen 4 R2. It's a little bit more of an amp draw than the Pro Stock, but it's a lot less RPMs. It's about 230 something or 2,000 RPMs less, or maybe 1,500 RPMs less. So, what I'll do here for you guys, I'm sorry, I know going up and down, I wish I could fit on one screen, but when I do, most people watch this on on their cell phone, so it makes it hard. But I'm going to do this so you guys can lock it in and see how. Let's see here. So I have. Oops. I'll do it so that you guys can see a little bit better. I don't know if you guys want to zoom in on that. Zoom in on that there. And then, well, I'll leave the double down there in case you want to see it. And there's the double down there if you want to freeze frame it there. And then the last of them if you want to freeze frame there. And you can probably go back and forth and see if they line up right. I could make it smaller, fit more on there. See, in case you guys use your laptops, but anyway, you don't get the whole screen is a problem there. Anyhow, final thoughts on this motor. This is the again, this is the Reds Racing Pro Stock. This is the motor that Reds Racing, the Pro Stocks are known to be extremely torquey motors. If I were to run a four-wheel drive or a stadium truck or something like that, and I was on a tight track, off-road, whatever, high traction, I would definitely use this motor. For something that's more of a high speed where you're constantly on the throttle, this might not be the best choice. I probably wouldn't use this one. I'd probably use the regular VX4 factory select version. But yeah, let me know what you guys think out there. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe to support the channel. If you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe anyway so you can make fun of all my other videos. Alright everybody, you take care.